That's all I hear on radio, television, famous people. And I'm gonna be real honest with you guys how bad everything is and how this corona crisis affects us all. This is a crisis that is global, right? But that's the only thing that is different from other disruptive events or times. Let me explain. When I wrote Model C, the book I wrote accordingly to my hospital cleaning work, I saw a lot of disruptive times. Parents that lost their children, parents whose children were very sick, parents who were desperate. These are also disruptive times. But not only that, people that lose their business, people that lose family, people that have suffered from earthquakes, from diseases, that are also disruptive times. The only difference is that now it's global. You know, everybody in this corona crisis has some disruptive thing. Some business-wise, some personal. So what I'm saying is this disruptive time is not different from others, except that it's global. But it doesn't matter, it is global because it affects you. And the things that affect you are disruptive. So what I wrote like 8 years ago already is that we need something, some hold on that we can use when times are disruptive in our lives, in our businesses. Yesterday late night I was a little bit shattered by these people I saw on TV. They were now announcing how disruptive everything is, while in other times you don't hear them, right? But now when the disruption is also affecting them, now suddenly they are spreading the word how to deal with disruptive times. This is not different than somebody who is losing his business or somebody who lost his brother in a car accident, for example. So you have to have some system, some model that you use when times are disruptive. Because what I can tell you is that in everybody's life, sooner or later, something will be disruptive. We are not princes and kings and whatever. Even people that have a lot of money will have some times that are disruptive. And if you don't have an attitude that you use to fall back on, then all the money in the world won't save you. So, how does Model C relate to this? Well, for once, we have to focus on the good things. And I know that sometimes raises eyebrows with people, but there are also good things on this coronavirus. In my case, just let me talk personal here, people are beginning to understand that they can do a lot of things online, in a video conference, on a video chat. This is something I am now promoting for 2-3 years in coaching work, that a video call can be just as effective as a personal call. Thanks to this corona crisis, now people are understanding it. So this is a good thing. For you, a good thing can be that you spend more time with your children. That's a good thing. You relearn the joy of these things. A good thing is that we understand again that we need people around us. Their life is going too fast. So a lot of good things are coming from this crisis. And yes, people are dying. And yes, if it is your sister, your mother, your brother, your father, I sympathize with you. This is bad. This is not something you get happy from, I know. But you have to focus on the good things. That is the only way that you will conquer something like this. And again, something that will occur while your life is moving on. And the more you understand this, if times are disruptive for you, and you find a way to change this to a positive thing, or if you can't change it, look at it as the positive thing, that's half of the solution, even more. So again, this corona crisis is only a crisis until the next crisis will be there in your life. Personal wise, business wise, whatever. You can't escape from things that will happen to you. But I can guarantee you that bad things will come on your way. The question is, how are you going to cope with it? Do you have a system? Do you have the right attitude to cope with it? Because if you don't, you will be unhappy. You will get stuck. And that is not something you want, I guess. So, what I am saying now for the past 8 years, and what I wrote in Model C, applies just as well now for this coronavirus as for everything else that will happen in our lives. And that doesn't mean that you can't be sad, that you can't have a lot of grief, that you can't be angry. It's all part of the process. But you have to keep in mind that in order to conquer these things, you got to have the right state of mind. Because the only thing that will save you from a crisis like, say for instance, Corona, is the way you look upon it. Because you can't change this thing, Corona. You can't do this and it won't be gone. It will be here. Maybe it will stay here for the rest of our lives. We don't know yet. So my frustration yesterday evening was that people now are like panicking or have an epiphany that life is more than work, life is more than money. This is typical in a crisis like this, but let's try not to forget that when this corona crisis is over, there will be a next. And if we haven't learned anything from this crisis, then maybe it's time to find some model or to find some other attitude that you can use in your life. This said, I hope that everybody is safe. I hope that you don't have any people in your family that are infected by this terrible disease. And even if times are bad, that now more than any other time is a time to reflect and the time to search for a way to get over crises. Focus on the positive. Try to see the good things that will come out of this crisis, and learn from it. That's the way you and anybody else can lead a happy life.